Good evening and welcome to the Board of Zoning Appeals, August 18th, 2025. The first item on our agenda this evening is the determination of a quorum. Can the secretary please take the roll?
Mr. Powell is absent. Mr. Cooper?
Here.
Mr. Tucker?
Present.
Mr. Crowley is absent. Mr. Durbin?
Here.
Ms. Horner here. Ms. Narduzzi?
Here, we have a quorum. Would like to welcome our new member this evening. Bill Durbin is joining us for the first time. We really appreciate you filling in on our board and rounding it out for our quorum. So welcome. Thank you. At the beginning of each meeting, we do allow time for public participation. This is not a time to speak about any of the agenda items or a case that we're here, but if there was anyone here in general that wished to address the board, now would be the time. I assume we have our three applicants in the audience with us tonight, so we'll move on to the minutes from our August 4th meeting. They have been reviewed and some minor adjustments or corrections have been made. So if we can have a motion to approve those corrected minutes, please.
Motion to approve the corrected minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, those minutes are approved. We have no old business. So we will slip right into our new business for this evening. As I stated, we do have three cases. Our first one being BZ 25-012. Our applicant is Marcus and Jessica Fowler at 511 Bird Street. Can we have the staff report, please?
Okay, the applicants are seeking a variance to construct a detached garage. It will exceed 50% of the floor area of their home. The garage would have about 1,152 square feet. County records don't show the floor area of the house, but it appears to be about 1,500 square feet. So with that, the applicants could have a detached garage of up to 750 square feet without a problem. I also note that the property is about almost 7/10 of an acre. Here it's shown up there. They actually had an original house lot, roughly 55 by maybe 150. They purchased land area behind them, consolidated it into one new lot. And I think that's why the county records are not quite up to date. They've got the consolidated information on there, but nothing has been imported yet regarding the homes. So they note that the house is on slab, has no basement. In your staff report, had a street view photo of the property, which showed that it is also single story, so I doubt if there's a whole lot of attic space. And the applicants did provide kind of a site sketch showing where this detached garage would go. It would go near the south property line behind a neighbor's garage. Setbacks from the side and rear would be 10 feet, so that's more than twice the requirement. Again, they could have 750 square feet of garage area without a variance. They're proposing a structure that's a bit bigger, about 400 square foot larger. Again, presumably this is to provide additional storage for yard maintenance equipment and other household items, given the lack of potential storage space within the house itself. The application notes the structure is under the 16-foot height limit. It will be about 10 feet at the highest point. And again, I mentioned maintaining 10-foot setbacks from the neighboring properties. I also noted, and I thought I had something in the staff report, there are several other properties in the neighborhood that have detached garages, and those really range anywhere from about 900 square feet to 1,400 square feet. So it's really not out of keeping what they are requesting. That's really all I have. I just recommend that you review 154, 561C, and consider any input received here tonight.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Jeff? Okay. At this time, I will declare the public hearing open. All of these cases have been taken before the other agencies, police and fire. So at this time, I will ask the applicant please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and give us any additional details that you'd like the board to consider, please. You can both come. Moral support. It's good.
Marcus Failer.
Jessica Taylor.
Like, we just have no storage in the house. We like where we're at, so we just like to put up the barn. I have some woodworking equipment I'd like to be able to start using instead of just having it tucked away. And then, yeah, it would be for general storage for the lawn equipment, the patio stuff, patio furniture, be able to park the cars in there, kids' bikes.
So currently, you're just using your driveway for your cars and
Yeah, we have.
you have no, yeah,
And we have a metal shed for
Yeah.
everything else.
for little things.
We
Yeah.
have to-
So you would be removing the metal shed and basically
pretty
just
much.
using the garage at that
Right.
point then,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't know.
No. He's pretty thorough with his staff
Yeah.
reports,
Right.
yeah.
And it's under 16 feet, the,
Yeah, like the ceiling in the garage would be 10 feet.
okay.
And then, I'm not sure how
That's
the peak and stuff, but I would assume it would be under 16 feet.
It's far enough away from the property line, you don't see any issues with drainage, that kind of thing that would come up?
No, not really.
It's pretty open back there, so.
Yeah, that backyard drains.
No building
pretty good,
plans?
so,
Yeah. It's for the neighbors.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so the building plan would have to, would that have to be submitted, Jeff, in order to ensure that the height?
That'll actually have to go to Medina County. Anything over 200 square feet requires a building permit. We don't issue residential permits anymore. That now all goes through Medina County.
Oh, that's right.
So we
Okay.
get zoning approval here, drop off building plans to them, and they'll, when they're ready, they'll say, hey, you can pick up your plans. Before we release them, show us you've got the zoning approval. That's the zoning certificate you pick up from us.
So currently, your application basically is just about the square footage of the size of the garage, not the height, okay? Because we don't have any information regarding the height. So as long as it's under, including the peak,
The peak is 16 max, right? Like that's.
Yep.
this
Okay.
is 16 max. That's exactly right. So
Okay.
that's, you'll have to ensure that because this variance request that we're hearing tonight is simply the square footage of the garage, okay?
Okay.
So if you get it up to Medina County and it's higher than 16, will they bounce it? Jeff?
No, but they'll come back to us, and they've got to note that on the zoning certificate.
Okay.
So you'll
All
have
right.
to have a set of the plans to show us what the maximum
Okay,
height
good.
is.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Any other questions then for the applicant?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, again, the other folks in the audience are here for their own applications, so there's no one here to speak in opposition of this particular application. So is there any discussion or concluding comments?
Just seems like he has a lot of
A
backyard.
lot of,
there.
yeah, plenty of room for it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, secured that with that lot, so. If I could have a motion to close this public hearing, please?
Motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Again, there's ample space for this particular situation, and that is an old part of town that unfortunately doesn't, didn't really permit two-car garages, much less, much less garages at all, so.
And they're maintaining the side yard setbacks,
Yeah, I would point out that the setbacks for a detached structure are 5 feet from the side of rear property line. So they're basically doubling that.
Right, plenty of room there. Good, okay. If we could have a motion regarding case BZ 25-12, please?
I'll make a motion on BZ 25-012, 511 Bird Street, a variance to construct a 24 by 48 detached garage, the floor area of which exceeds 50% of the floor area of the primary structure.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Terry seconded. Okay, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Durbin?
Yes.
Ms. Horner, yes. Ms. Narduzzi?
Yes, motion passes. Okay. Rest is up to you. Thank you. Okay, our next case is BZ 25-013. Our applicant is Jeff Rotzos. The applicant's address is 276 High Point Drive, and can we have a staff report, please?
Yeah, the applicant's property is located at the corner of High Point and Windfall. Looks like the garage faces High Point, so it's the front of the house. He'd like to add a third bay to his garage. That would be along the north property line. And I believe in your staff report, maybe in here, I've got the mortgage location survey. Kind of shows some of the dimensions of the property for when it was built. It's got a 50-foot front setback off of High Point. Corner lots have to maintain front yard setbacks on both street frontages. It does so also on Windfall, but you can see that when this was planted, they only planted a 40-foot front setback on Windfall. No big deal there. And according to the survey, they didn't really note what that side setback is, but it looks to be about 16 feet plus or minus from the house to the north property line. So again, to try and get a 14-foot wide addition here would put that roughly 2 feet from the side property line. Applicant does state the variance is required because of the corner lot issue. He has to maintain front setbacks on both street frontages. But I'm really not quite sure how the corner lot requirement presents really a major impact on this request. And again, the reason being is that, yeah, the front setback on Windfall was already reduced to 40 feet, and the house itself exceeds the 10-foot side yard setback for the district. So looking at some of the typical or non-corner lots in this subdivision too, they were planted with widths of 90 feet, okay? And that's about 15 feet wider than a typical lot in this zoning district. Typical lots are roughly 75 feet by 150 feet. These lots, I think, were roughly 90 feet by like 133. So the net impact is, and I think I've got a photo in here. Well, actually, I don't. Hold on. I'm going to try and pull up the aerial photo here. I guess the long and short of it is a lot of the setbacks, a lot of the side yard setbacks in this neighborhood exceed 10 foot. 10 foot seems to be the minimum. I've seen setbacks up to 22 feet along the side yard line. Also looked in some of the past files, the past BZA files, and since 1990 there have been 5 variance applications filed for properties on High Point. All of the applications were to reduce the rear setback requirements for room additions or decks, etc. And pretty much all of those were approved, but the average setback reduction in most cases was about 3 feet per application. It ranged anywhere from 1.5 feet to 7 feet. But I've not seen anything that reduced the side yard setbacks. And I'm a little concerned with with an addition that close to a side property line. But again, that's what the board is here to review, and I would just suggest keeping in mind the requirements in 154-561C and consider any other input you receive here tonight. And that's really all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Jeff before we open the public hearing?
Do you know how big the backyard, the distance, it looks like it's pretty short backyard.
I think the backyard's roughly about 25 to 28 feet. I mean, this is not 100% accurate, but I'm getting a number about 28.8 feet. From the side, like you said, it's a little trickier. I'm only getting 9 feet, but I also know, look, if the yellow line represents the property lines, you can see that it's off. And that's why these aerials are good to get a rough ballpark estimate, but running north to south, it's off kilter a bit. So if you take 9 feet and add to it an additional 8.7 feet, shipping the line up, that's where the 16 feet comes from. So I think the mortgage location survey is pretty accurate.
Okay, any other questions for Jeff? Okay, at this time I will declare the public hearing open. As I stated, police and fire have been notified of such a thing, other departments, so we'll ask the applicant to please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and give the board any additional information you'd like us to consider, please.
My name is Jeff Verotzis, and I do live and reside and own with my wife 276 High Point Drive. Yeah, we love it here. We've lived in Wadsworth for a long time. We've been in this property 38 years. I wanted to point out one thing. I did send a revision that I made to this, and I think you have it, and I think the planning director has it. So I would be asking for less than the 14 feet. It's actually probably going to be more like close to 5 feet, 4'7" or thereabouts from the property line, rather than 2 feet where I started out. And in trying to aim for, I have an old metal fence there from when we had a dog, and my goal would be to put the gutter edge where that fence is now, which is still significantly off the property line, but it's less than the setback. So I just would ask you to consider it. I've been there 38 years. We love it, and like living in Wadsworth. And my wife and I were in a real serious high-speed motor vehicle accident 11 years ago last Saturday, and we had some serious injuries, and so I didn't anticipate I was going to have to buy a tractor to mow my little lawn. I used to push it by hand and like the exercise, but my doctor said, hey, you've had 2 ankle surgeries, you're done. Just, get a tractor or pay somebody. So I got a tractor. So I got stuff in my garage that I don't have room to put all my vehicles in, and that's a goal for this, plus to add a little pantry on the back of it for my wife, because again, she had multiple surgeries, many more than me, and she's now facing a knee replacement after already having a hip replacement years ago. So it'd help her not have to go to the basement to get things. So anyway, it's just it's less than the way it was originally proposed, but there's not a lot of space there, but I have good rapport with my neighbors, and talked with them about it and showed them where my fence was, so the Coles didn't have any objection.
So what is
This drawing in your staff report.
I'm sorry?
This drawing is in your staff report.
Okay.
They're showing the addition with now, I don't know why we're doing all this feedback. The new dimensions of the addition would be 11 foot 7 inches wide. If you look here, so it says now the new side setback would be 4 foot 7 inches.
And does that include the gutters on top of that?
No, that's where I'll put the gutter.
So that's basically the side roof line.
Okay.
So, which means that the foundation is probably going to be about 4 to 6 inches in from there. So if they're showing a 4 foot 7 from property line to gutter line, it's basically about a 5 foot.
So now you're talking about a 5-foot distance
foot.
from the property line?
Yes.
And it's required to be 10?
Right.
Yeah, I actually measured what I have on my current garage. It's like 16 inches from the siding out to the edge of the tip of the gutter, so that's.
Jeff, I have a question.
Sure.
On your neighbor to the south, I
come
guess,
up here,
that you
please?
would be abutting to with a new garage.
Oh, can you go to the podium?
It's to the north.
It's actually the north, we're going north,
Yeah.
is my neighbor.
The
So,
neighbor-
Okay,
The
okay.
neighbor closest to him would be to
yeah,
the
and
north.
that view
Correct,
right now,
correct.
north is straight up.
Yep.
What's the distance between his house and the property line? Is he infringed on that 10-foot, do you know?
I can find that out real quick.
I'm not sure.
I can give
I mean,
you-
that's not been changed since that house was built. My house has been changed. You know, Mr.
I was just curious,
Yeah.
the overall distance we would have between your new garage and the neighbor's house.
It's his garage that's right there.
Right.
Against me.
Maybe if his was less than what,
Yeah, he's got about 12 to 13 feet
to the property line.
to the property line, and then add
And 5.
roughly the 16 feet that this house, so right now, there's about let's see, probably close to a 25, yeah, about a 20-foot separation, 21-foot separation. This would reduce it to roughly 12 or 15 plus 5, so about 17 feet.
So you're talking 5 foot from the property line and you're not putting up another fence?
No. No fence.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Like I said, this is hard to work, but like right now I'm showing about a 24-foot separation, so knock off.
Between 20 and 24.
Right. So you knock off that 11-foot, 5 feet on his side, the rest, the other 10 to 11 would be on the neighbor's side.
Okay. Did your neighbor have any, yeah, you gotta go back.
Yeah, no, we weren't.
Go ahead and
I
stay
need
there.
to stay there.
Did your neighbor have any comments on it? Good or
No,
bad?
no, he did not. He said he did not
Okay,
have any
I didn't see
objections.
anything in the packet, okay.
Yeah. Bill Cole, yeah.
So you mentioned about needing a riding lawnmower, which is why the.
That's in my garage now. Yeah, I had 2 ankle surgeries a year apart in an accident we had in August of 2014. So the second one was a fusion.
So is your garage, is it not accommodating that
Right,
lawnmower?
right. Yeah.
Just a big
It's just
structure
it's not.
that you're adding on, that 32 feet deep.
Well, I'm trying to, on the back, the garage won't be that deep. The back portion, I was just gonna have there's a window in our family room currently, and I was gonna have that window out and put a doorway in there in the same elevation as the house first floor, just have a room that can be a pantry where my wife can have more storage for canned goods and things. And then there'll be a crawl space underneath that with concrete. And then beyond that, where my current garage is where my new garage would also end. So
So how much is the actual garage
The
size?
garage, it looks like 11 foot 7 inches by 32 feet.
32.
length. The house itself, right now, the current house with attached garage is 52 feet.
52.
He's saying that the back part's gonna be a pantry.
yeah, it won't be 32 feet long garage. I don't know why I didn't mention on that, but it's going to be basically the same. It
This
would
is a
probably be the
proposed
same
garage,
dimension as the
yeah.
original garage thereabouts.
Your drawing shows 32 feet.
But
But if you're looking at the photograph up here, so if you're going to start here and go here, then the length will probably be roughly 24 feet.
Right,
So
his current garage
This would be
is-
roughly 11.7 by 24.
No, sir, it would be, I wanted to carry it beyond
Okay.
that. There's a window currently in my family room. I wanted to carry it to as close as I can get to my air conditioner right now, which will allow me to have a few feet of a
Okay.
walkout into,
Then we'll go back to your drawing here.
yes.
There you go, 32 is where I came up with that number, from here to there. The new addition would be 32 feet.
It would be, but not all garage, that's what I,
Okay.
yeah,
So that's the addition. Somewhere in here, there would be a partition.
Yes.
And then this would be more internal living space.
yeah.
Or,
Pantry, yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
So your proposed new garage is going to meet the existing depth, the depth of the existing garage of 22 feet?
Yes.
Give or take?
Give or take. Actually, it's going to be, I'm going to be shorter. I was just going to carry the roof to the front where the current garage is, but I've got a gas meter there, and I was going to set back the garage door front face behind where the gas meter is, so it's still outside. And then,
Is that what this dashed line represents?
yes, sir.
This would be the
Yes, sir.
roof line. The building itself would start here.
Exactly.
The addition itself. And then it would run for 32 feet, but internally, which we're not showing, it would probably cut off somewhere in here. So again, it's
Yes, sir.
add some additional pantry / storage space within the house.
Had you thought about maybe extending toward High Point, the existing garages? Kind of
You know,
the front of them? The reason is, I bring that up is because it's just not the kind of precedent I see would want to be started from here. When a structure's built, and pretty much in mind when it's built, they don't plan on changing that footprint to the side
Yeah.
whatsoever. It's just,
I guess I considered it, but I thought maybe I had a conversation with somebody here a few years ago. I've been thinking about it for a while. Maybe I don't need to be that close. But I thought somebody mentioned that because it was a corner lot, you wouldn't want that front setback to be reduced because it might be an issue for people turning the corner.
all corner lots are different, some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with what they're, I understand now, the moving okay, we're gonna have a roof line here, but the building itself is gonna start back to the west 5 feet, so you don't have to relocate the gas meter and all that stuff. That makes some sense.
Right.
And again, I think now with a slightly reduced setback,
Not more than 5 feet,
not
right?
more than 5 feet.
Not close, excuse me,
Right.
not
2
closer
feet
than
was
5 feet.
awful close in a neighborhood,
Yes.
Right.
Again, ideally, a 10-foot addition, we'd still need a variance. But, you could build up to 6 feet without any kind of variance. But 5 feet seems a bit more manageable than just the 2 feet. Because you don't run into grading issues, you've got and again, I think that's to the roof line, so the actual foundation is going to be set in a little bit further. So from the property line to the foundation of the house, you're going to get about 5 feet.
So we would be amending this request to a variance to construct a third bay addition, a distance not closer than 5
5
feet
feet.
to the side property line, am I
Yeah.
correct?
Okay.
And that's what I would do it is, the foundation, the new foundation, no closer than 5 feet.
Okay, any other questions for Jeff before he dashes back to his seat?
I'm sorry for doing that.
I'm kidding.
And then what I would do, I'd do the addition of approximately 11 foot 7 inches by 32 feet. And I use the word approximate because that may need to be adjusted during construction. Key issue is that the setback can't be any less, the north side setback can't be any less than 5 feet, as measured to the foundation. Do it that way, then we all know what we're.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any further discussion or concluding comments?
Well, I do have one for you, Mr. Kaiser. The fire department has already signed off on this because I'm concerned the distance between the two roof lines.
They're fine. And typically the fire department doesn't look at residential applications, but the fire code, you can have the buildings right next to each other as long as they've got firewall protection.
Okay.
And that's something that'll be investigated in part of their building plan review when he goes up to get building permits. If it's too close to the other building, they're gonna say, hey, you either move it or you add additional firewall protection.
Thank you.
Okay, good question. Okay. All right, if there's no further discussion, if we can have a motion to close this public hearing, please.
Motion to close public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so again, just want to stress that this variance has been amended to construct a third bay garage addition a distance of not closer than 5 feet to the side property line as measured from the foundation, and the proposed addition is 11 feet 7 inches by 32 feet. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can we have is there a motion to this, for this variance?
I'll make a motion on VZ 25013, variance to construct a third bay garage addition at a distance of not more than 5 feet from the side property line.
Not less
to the-
than.
Less than, I apologize, less than, from the new foundation. And the structure would be approximately 11'7" by 32 feet.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we have roll call vote, please?
Mr. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Durbin?
Yes?
Ms. Horner, no. Ms. Narduzzi?
Yes, motion passes. Your amendment got you through. All right, thank you. And last but not least, we have one remaining case this evening. It is case BZ 25-014. Our applicant is Heidi Funk. The variance is to install a 6-foot privacy fence at the property's front yard along Wolf Avenue, but the variance address is located at 480 Honeysuckle Lane. Can we have a staff report, please, Jeff?
Yep. Okay, let me find my report here. Yeah, the applicant, again, we have another issue involving the corner property. Her property is located at Honeysuckle Lane and Wolf. It fronts on Honeysuckle. So Wolf functions as a kind of a side yard, although as a secondary street frontage, needs to meet all of the front yard setbacks. And the setback requirements when it comes to fences are that any fence in a front yard can't exceed a height of 4 feet. That fence can be privacy.
They're worse. Just turn them off.
That front yard fence can be a privacy fence, provided it's at least 20 feet back from the property line. But again, it still can't exceed 4 feet. So the fence in question is this. You can see the yard's already enclosed. I think her intent was to, and I believe these fence panels are already 6 feet.
They
And
are.
I think the intent was to, I'm not sure if it's all in need of repair, but I think she was going to either replace those, but the real issue was replacing these fence panels here along Wolf Avenue and bringing them to a height of 6 feet. But again, the way the code's written, that still has to remain at 4 feet. You know, the primary purpose of the fence height restrictions is to prevent any sight distance obstructions. People walking on the sidewalk, walking in the street, or driving on the street, etc. But that 20-foot setback, to me, that pretty much alleviates that concern. When you're that far behind the front property line, like in this case, you've got almost 40 feet of clear distance from the fence to the actual curb. And there is sidewalk there, so and even then, they've got about 20 feet. So sight distance concerns don't exist. So whether the fence is 4 foot or 6 foot in height doesn't really have an impact on visibility. In fact, I think during the next round of general zoning updates, one of the suggestions I'm going to make is that when that fence is 20 feet back from a secondary street frontage, let it go to 6 because it's not really having an impact on anyone. Till that time comes, however, applicants have to abide by the current regulations and thus the variance. Again, over the years, we've had many variances regarding fences, especially at corner lots. Each case has to be looked at, you know, we have to look at it on a case-by-case basis because maybe the answer would be different if there were a whole string of driveways along the stretch, like you got across the street. The nearest driveway that would be impacted by this are well over 400 feet away, and that's here to the south. Right here's the nearest driveway to the applicant's house. So we're, again, looking at what impact we're going to have on the public. We've granted variances where we've got fences 3 feet away that don't have an impact, therefore this would have even less of an impact. So I don't really see any public safety concerns arising from allowing the fence on the Wolf Avenue frontage. If I can find it again, here we go. So I don't see really any issues if this fence were replaced with 6-foot panels versus. So again, just remind the board, review section 154-561C and consider any input received tonight.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Jeff? Nope. Okay, at this time I will declare the public hearing open. Ask Ms. Funk to please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record and give us any additional information you'd like the board to consider, please.
My name is Heidi Funk. I live at 480 Honeysuckle, and the reason I want to do this is I want to protect my dogs. I've got a new one, a 2-year-old. It's a jumper. He's jumped twice now. Thankfully, both the people, one of them who's here for me, they've been very, very nice. Their dogs have not reacted. It could be a different story the next time. Because I'm so close to Wolf, they could get hit by a car. I have a big backyard. I have an electric, like a dog door. Right now, both of my dogs are confined inside. I'm gone 10 hours a day. I want them to be able to enjoy my yard while I'm gone at work and not have to worry about seeing one of them on my camera that's escaped my yard or something and have to rush home from work in Barberton to make sure that they're okay, or that, you know, maybe a neighbor's dog. I don't want to get sued by anybody, you know, because my dog jumped the fence and their dog may react or whatever. It's just basically to protect my heart, my dogs, and just for them to be able to enjoy my backyard the way, I mean, the reason I put it in was basically my mom was living with me and it was an inconvenience for her to have to lock my dog, you know, put my dog on a chain. She could open up the deck door, the dog could go out, lay on the deck, he'd come back in whenever he was ready, and she didn't have to worry about it. So I'm just requesting to be able to, and I don't know yet if I'm going to actually put something on top or if we're going to just go ahead and replace with 6-foot panels. I haven't talked to my contractor yet, but I'm just trying to get this part of it done for him. Just whatever I want to do, I just need to raise it to 6 feet because I'm praying that he can't jump that high. He hasn't tried to jump any of the other panels that are 6 foot, but
the sidewalk's on that side.
I know.
That's
I
where
know.
everybody walks their dogs.
Yeah. And you know, and even I can even say when it's done or if I'm allowed to do it, I'm still going to be nervous for a while because I was in my backyard the second time he jumped, and to see him just, yeah, it's too much for me to. But I'm hoping too that there's 2.5 panels that are actually on the honeysuckle side that connect. Right. That this would include those as well. They just connect to the house, and they're back. One of them is blocked by a burning bush.
But see, it rounds that corner there.
Yeah.
Is that
But you know what,
going to
that's
apply?
not a problem because
Because
it's
it
not
says
in the
front
honeysuckle front yard, which ends here. So, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. my contractor just wanted to make sure that I included those.
You can round the corner.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, any questions for Heidi?
But it will be professionally done, so whatever you.
It's either going to be done the exact same way that this is, which I know you've seen it, she's seen it.
It's
Yeah,
very nice.
It's a nice vinyl
super nice.
fence.
Sure.
I'm not going to put up anything, because obviously I don't want to deter the value of my yard. So we're either going to replace the same panels and just make them 6 foot, or I'm going to get some kind of decorative thing that, you know, can just sit on top that will make it the 6 foot height.
Certainly. Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Nope. Okay, thanks, Heidi. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything? Give you your 15 minutes? Or, okay, 2.
So we're at 416 Wolf, so if you shoot up on the side fence, we're like across the street. Yeah, right about there.
Okay, and your name for the record?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, can you give us your name?
Susan Gordon.
Thank
the
you.
416, the brown roof.
Okay, right here.
So directly across. Also, my neighbor with the red car at 408, she says, no problem with the fence. Yeah, absolutely no problem. I was the one, when the dog got out, I was standing on the sidewalk and the dog jumped out, so I was able to take the dog home.
Good thing.
And of course, she's at work all day. And, you know, they're your babies, they're your pets. No problem. She wants to build a bigger fence, go for it. We're supportive. Even the other neighbor next door said no issues, so. But I figured I'd just come here to experience what all this is about, and I've enjoyed it.
It's a hoot, isn't
You
it?
guys do a great job.
We're always looking for new members, too.
Thanks, Susan. Okay, any other questions? We got, this is crazy. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. This is really kind of a no-brainer. As she said, I'm very familiar with the property, and it can fully accept the height, and nobody will know it. And her dogs have always been very, very friendly, and therein lies the problem. So,
I have
okay.
2 golden retrievers, and they are my babies as well, so I totally understand.
We can have a motion, please? regarding-
Okay, I'll make a motion. On case number BZ 25-014, make a motion to grant a variance to install a 6-foot privacy fence in the property's front yard area along Wolf Avenue.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion, and we have a second by Dennis. If we can have a roll call for it, please.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes.
Mr. Hooper?
Yes.
Mr. Durbin?
Yes.
Ms. Horner, yes. Ms. Narduzzi?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes our very noisy meeting this evening. If there's any other business to be brought before the board?
Well, hold on, I'm trying to find out when our next meeting is. That would have been September 1st, which is
Labor Day.
Labor Day. So,
Go to the 15th?
September 15th, should we get any cases, that deadline won't be until a week from this Friday. So
Okay,
I'll let everyone know by email.
okay.
Okay?
We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, we are adjourned.
So when he gets the
Pardon me?
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.